Thanks, Jared.
Well, not the start in terms of our first road game that we were anticipating or expecting. We ran into a good basketball team down in Arlington, a new group of guys, but they played extremely hard. Threw some things at us that we hadn't seen, and in some ways, I don't know if we'll see very often from a roster standpoint. They were undersized. Most of the time had really 5 guards on the floor, and so that changed some things for us. Some of that we anticipated going in. Some of that happened during the course of the game, but I give them credit. They played harder for longer than we did. They made some of the tough plays that had to be made at both ends of the floor when they needed to be made, and that was ended up being the difference in what was a close basketball game. They got up 8 or 10 at one point in the second half, but outside of that 2 or 3 minutes, the game was within 1 or 2 possessions. So they made the tough plays when they had to make them, and so again, not the start that we expected or anticipated on Saturday. We weren't really able to get ourselves into any rhythm, get any momentum to our offense. And in the 2 exhibition games and in the game against Bemidji State, as everybody saw, that was a big part of what we were able to do. And we were not able to get much of that going in the game on Saturday, and that slowed us down a little bit. So plenty to learn from. Some disappointment that we didn't play better and make a couple of tough, hard-nosed plays and come out of there with a different result. But a lot to learn from. Friday we play against a team that it looks like they've got a terrific basketball team. Penn has got a number of guys back from last year's team that played in the NCAA tournament. They watching their first 2 games, taking a look at them yesterday. They've got a good group, 7 juniors and seniors, so an experienced team and a very good basketball team, extremely well coached. So we're looking at a terrific team coming up here on Friday down in St. Thomas. With that, I would take your questions.
You played both Pittsburgh and Fife. Just tell us about that and what you thought of their first outing.
Yeah, and played Taiwan probably a little bit too much for a stretch in the second half. More to do from a conditioning standpoint. He feels good. His foot feels fine, and he feels good. But didn't know going into the basketball game that we would play him that much. He played well in the first half and gave us a little bit of a different look and able to get some things done for us. And so we went with him again in the second half and he continued to play well. But he wasn't just from a conditioning standpoint. He wasn't ready for those types of minutes, and that. Austin didn't play as many minutes. I thought he moved around pretty well, played pretty well. He felt good, most importantly, when the game was over. He felt good again yesterday, and so far today, reports from our trainer is that he feels good today as well. So with both those guys, it's just going to be it's going to take some time until they're all the way back to where, from a conditioning standpoint, to where they need to be. But I thought. I thought both guys were pretty good for not having practiced much.
Coach, with your team